Hello, this is Miss Eubank, and today we're going to talk about the quadratic formula a little bit. So after the end of this video and probably class, you will be able to identify the coefficients and plug them into the formula for the discriminant and calculate the discriminant and be able to identify the number of solutions. So the discriminant is going to tell us how many solutions we will have. So we're going to take this part of the quadratic formula, and this is called the discriminant. And we're going to plug in our numbers, which I'll explain in a second, to find how many solutions. So when you plug in the numbers, if it gives us a number greater than 0, we're going to have 2 solutions. If it gives us a number equal to 0, so if it gives us 0, we're going to have 1 solution. And if it gives us a number less than 0, we're going to have 0 solutions. And how we find the numbers that go in for A, B, and C is we find the coefficients. So here, our coefficient is 1. That doesn't look good. Let's see. Let's do this again. Okay, so here, our coefficient is 1. So this is our A. So A is going to equal 1. B is this coefficient here, this 5. So B is going to equal 5. And C is 6, the last coefficient here. Okay, so now that we found what our A, B, and C are, we're going to plug it into the discriminant formula. So we have B squared, which is 5. So 5 squared minus 4, A is 1, so times 1, and C, which is 6. So when we evaluate this, we get this all equals 1. Since 1 is greater than 0, we will have 2 solutions. Okay, pretty simple stuff. So let's try another example. Okay, so our A is going to be 1. Our B is 6. And our C is 9. We're going to plug these numbers into the discriminant formula. So B squared, 6 squared, minus 4 AC. 4 times 1 times 9. When we evaluate this, we get 0. And back at the top, it says that when it equals 0, then there's going to be 1 solution. So we have 1 solution. Okay, and our last example, our A is going to be 1. Our B is 0. And our C is 4. So we're going to plug this in, and we have b squared, so we have 0 squared minus 4 AC. 4 times 1 times 4. And when we evaluate that, we get a negative 16. And this negative 16, that is less than 0, which means there are no solutions. These numbers are not a solution. The numbers tell us how many solutions there are going to be. No solution. So quick overview. To find our a, b, and c, our a is the coefficient for the x squared term, our b is the coefficient for the x term, and our c is the constant. We plug that into our discriminant, which is b squared minus 4 times a times c. And if we go back to the top here, if that number is greater than 0, we have 2 solutions. If that number is equal to 0, we have 1 solution. And if that number is less than 0, then there are 0 solutions. You guys will need to be able to memorize the whole quadratic formula. Right now we're just using pieces of it to find things that we need. So if you start to try to memorize this formula, that would be beneficial. In class sometime this week, I will teach you guys a couple ways to remember it. Okay, I will see you guys in class.